What is up? Welcome to episode 2 of A Glitch TV. I'm one of your hosts, Patrick Dees, and I'm joined by the lovely and talented Kate Elliott.
Sure. Hey!
She hates it when I do that. She hates it. You always give me that look like you're neither one of those things, and I kind of
awkward. It's just weird.
I'll get more awkward. Stay tuned to episode 3 where I get even more awkward with the intro, because that's happening. So yeah, welcome to a very superhero-centric episode of Glitch TV. If you're new to the show, which we're still new, welcome back. If you haven't seen episode 1, we'd encourage you to check that out. But for people who are just tuning in, why are we here?
We are here to talk about all of the TV shows, all of the content that we can consume without cable television, because most of us don't have cable anymore. A lot of us don't even own televisions.
Nope.
This particular space has a projector and no TV, so this is the future. So these are all of the things that we get to watch on the internet for free, without subscription. It's really, really great. And we're going to cover what we like, what we don't like. Then we're going to discuss with you what we're into and what we're going to look forward to next week. So.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part of the show is that ultimately we get to discuss with the audience. This past week we got a lot of comments on our socks. I chose some very colorful socks last time. I not as colorful, but if you'd like to chime in as what color socks I should be wearing, I'd be really interested.
I just wanted to join the sock club. So.
You did. I think you're killing it.
There we go. Yeah. I don't know what that face was like.
So how was your week this week? I mean, I don't know.
It was great.
Okay.
I worked a lot, actually. 12-hour days. Unfortunately, that's what it's like in Hollywood. If you work in the industry, you spend half the day at work. At the office or on set, doesn't matter.
It's like a humble brag. You know, if you're in Hollywood,
if you're
working.
I came from England, okay?
She's neither lovely or talented, and she just works in Hollywood. Blah blah blah.
What did you do?
What did you do? I actually I watched a whole lot of shows that were not on regular cable television, which we're going to talk about. I played a lot of The Witcher 3. Have you played this? Heard about this?
I haven't.
Unfucking believable. It is an unbelievable game. So I know we're not here to talk about video games, but between episodes of things you catch on Crackle, PlayStation Network, Netflix, highly encourage people out there to pick up a copy of Witcher 3. It is early front runner for Game of the Year, I think, at this point.
Very nice.
So good. So are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Oh my god.
All right, okay. So yes, like an enthusiastic 10 out of 10, yes. It's that of like RPGs. So like, I don't know, if you played BioWare's Dragon Age, it feels a little bit like baby's first RPG, right? It's a little bit like, I don't know, more like Tolkien-esque. This is very much like the Game of Thrones, this unsanitized fantasy.
That sounds great.
Unbelievably cool. So highly recommend it.
I'm in.
But that's not why we're here. We're not here talking video games. Although at some point I want to talk about this video games. We're here to talk about a lot of shows that you couldn't find on cable television otherwise. So let's jump right into it and take a look at what we're looking at this week. So this week, Powers on the PlayStation Network was picked up for a second season. Today we're talking about episode 2. We talked at length about episode 1 last week. Kate, what did you think about, coming off of episode 1? What were your kind of hopes coming into episode 2?
I truly, truly wanted to see Retro Girl. Because they hyped her up so much in the first episode that I wanted to know what was going on there. I wanted to know more about the wannabes too. I want to know what their deal is.
Yep.
If it actually works. If becoming a super power from being a wannabe actually happens. That was something I was looking forward to finding out.
So I had a lot of hopes coming into episode 2. I thought, the pilot, you can argue about the intention of a pilot a million different ways, right? Like it's to set up a ton of exposition, to kind of establish tone, build a world. I had a lot of hopes coming into this second episode, and I don't know how I felt overall. How are you feeling about episode 2?
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
The one thing I've learned about Powers is that it's kind of a slow start, so I'm going to give it several episodes to really lead in, but I hear it's going to get pretty intense, so I'm just
better person than I am. I don't know. I had such a hard time with this. Like, this one was called Like a Power, which was a ridiculous episode title. I'm sorry. It should have been called Here and Gone, which is Johnny Royale's catchphrase. There's some things that I really liked about it and a lot I didn't like about it. I want to start off by saying Diamond and his partner, or whatever his actual name is, that Diamond and his partner, there's like zero chemistry between them. I mean, Adam, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was their chemistry?
I mean, I don't think, what kind of chemistry are you hoping for them to have?
I don't know. I don't even mean like rookie cop, grizzled veteran cop.
Her.
I agree. I mean like actor to actor. It's like these people don't like each other, and there's just it's not believable.
That's fair.
I will say though, your hope was fulfilled early on in this episode. We saw Retro Girl.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
I was excited. I'm a little concerned for for her mental stability though, because of all she's just, everything is white and red in her life, and it's like, okay, I know you want to be branded, but you may have some issues you need to deal with.
She's very focused. She's very on brand.
Focused,
you know, I can appreciate that. She knows what she knows her audience. I can appreciate it. I thought she was rad, and I thought she was.
Did you say rad or red?
Yes. She's rad and she's red. But you know what? I thought the rest of the show, to some degree, feels like a Saturday Night Live parody of a comic book show. It just does. It's overacted or it's underacted. And like, she was this bastion of like great acting, and she seemed believable. Her performance was great.
She's genuinely. She is.
She right. Mm-hmm. And there was a great. Now you talk about a chemistry, like. She's one person who's having a hard time even relating to Diamond in this post-Powers world. Whereas the guy who had powers and then he didn't. And I think it was interesting to see her kind of like genuinely struggle with like, how do I even have a dialogue? Clearly they were romantically involved, and it's awkward. But on top of that, like anytime, like you've seen your ex, right? Like you see your ex, and it's like,
yeah. It would be like if you were both big TV and movie buffs, and then someone just quit technology. It's like, I don't even know how to have a conversation with you right now.
Yeah, like we live in totally different worlds.
Yeah.
I'm still like, this mega superstar. That's a great point. I hadn't even thought about that. Like you're just like, I'm still an A-list celebrity, and you're kind of a D-list, and you're not allowed into the party, and I don't know.
Painful. Oh.
It was awkward. I thought there was zero chemistry between them. I dug, though, the one thing that I thought did work in this episode was the whole Johnny Royale.
I love this character, and he plays it so well. He plays
cool.
it so well.
So the scene when he flashes into the station and he registers his powers and ultimately is setting Diamond up. Again, it's a great setup, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where it goes, because this guy, he is seriously ramping up his game now. He's not fooling around. He was kind of, in the beginning, you're like, okay, this is someone we need to pay attention to. And now it's like, oh, we need to keep a close eye on this guy.
Well, it's just clear that he's got, like, bigger plans, right? Like, it's like, and I think that was interesting, because at the beginning you just get, again, it's all world building. It's all like, hey, here's this universe. It was far too much exposition. But, like, it's clear that this guy's got a vision for something. I think the whole setting up this dance club for wannabes either is cliche or lame, or I'm not sure yet. I'm
scared.
It could be really bad. I don't know.
I think it's going to be bad for the characters in there. I think bad stuff's going to happen to them. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him.
But one thing I think that we talked a little bit about last week, and this episode did a fantastic job, and why I'm really, like, again, cautiously optimistic about the future, would be the whole Crispin subplot. So Crispin's dad died in the first 36 seconds of episode 1, which is not funny, but it's totally funny. It's totally funny.
He sounds like a chocolatey treat.
Did you say Christian or Crispin?
Crispin?
I had to look it up. I was like, no, I did. Because I wasn't 100% sure like what they were actually even saying. It is Crispin, for those people at home, for those following along. This is also a new drinking game. Every time we say Crispin, we're inviting people at home to take a shot.
Don't do it. You're going to be wasted.
Annihilated. But that was cool. So I kind of dug that whole. They did a lot of montages of him pining to be a superhero.
I mean, that's always going to be the making of either a superhero or a supervillain. And I'm putting money that this kid is going to turn bad. Because he's so brokenhearted. I have a feeling that he is going to acquire some powers through some dastardly way, and then he's just going to seek revenge on everyone.
That's really interesting, because he tells Diamond at the very beginning that he's not a power, that he's a hero. So, like, I actually thought it might swing the other way, that he end up being a good guy. But
$5. Let's see which way it goes.
I'll bet you $5 in a shot. All right. I'm going to up your game with alcohol. I think, but like, so we'll have to see. But I think that is what's keeping me going in the show, is that theme of, I think everybody to some degree, and not just millennials and not just these teenagers, but like everybody on some level can identify with wanting and yearning to be something more. And I think that's what the show really hits on. I think it's missing on a lot of this, the powers, but this celebrity culture. And like, we come from a generation where like there's a sense of entitlement, right?
Participation awards.
Right?
That kind of ruined us a little bit.
And a lot
you
of
either win or lose. We need to teach that to kids early. Yep. Not just you're all special. It's like, yeah, you are, but also work hard and earn it.
Also, you're not. You know,
everyone's unique. Wait, what?
Yeah, it was his amazing speech at the end of the first episode. It was like, no, you're just like everybody else. You're boring as hell. You might as well jump. I think that's what he should have said.
It's like, no, it's not.
And so like, I think that I hope it pays off.
Yeah.
But that whole wanting to be something, because I think, again, like a lot of our generation like feels like they deserve to be famous, and it's touching on a lot of that. And I think the parallel of superheroes as celebrities, again, there's some powerful things at play. I think I can understand how this graphic novel, if you will, resonates with a lot of people. I'm not sure the show's doing it for me at this point, but it's got me to the point where, like, just like we talked about in episode 1, it was interesting, and then the last 60 seconds were unbelievable. So what happens?
The show is so good at hooks. It's really...
Right?
Yeah.
Again, the same thing. I was like, 3/4 of the way through it, I'm like, okay, I kind of get what it's doing. And at the very end, Johnny freaking Royalle shows up at his apartment. It says, hey, I'm not going to hurt you. This super, like, passive-aggressive threat. Does that old tie switch thing. And then he pulls the trigger at him and he's gone. Super cool way to end it, and instantly made me want to watch the next one.
That makes good TV right there. Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Again, so like I'm giving this a passing grade at this point.
It's like over here, and here I'm like next.
Yeah, all right.
Let's do it.
All right, so let us know what you thought of episode 2. Again, we're cautiously optimistic about episode 3, and we'll be back to talk about it.
And which way do you think Crispin's gonna go? The chocolatey treat, good or bad?
Good. It's good. Well, that's it. Episode 2 of A Glitch TV is in the books. You seem emotional. It's been a journey, is what she's getting at. We've laughed, we've cried, we've made fun of superheroes.
We have.
We get really into Hancock for some reason. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the movie next week.
Yes, I can't wait. I haven't seen it and I've heard so much about it. So this is another great excuse to be on the show as I get to learn new stuff. Along with you guys. It's wonderful. I love this.
So all kinds of ways to get a hold of us. Obviously, a big part of the show is the conversation. We want to hear from you. You hear this from a lot of shows, a lot of content on the internet says, hey, we want to hear from you. Join the conversation. But like,
we mean it.
Right?
That is a big part of the show. We mean it from our hearts. We want to know what you think. You're very kindly interested in what we have to say. And it's mutual. So let us know what's going on. If there are any shows that we haven't talked about.
Right.
Please let us know. We're interested to get involved in other things too.
No, totally. The stated point of the show is to help you find shows that are readily available for people who don't have cable television. If we're missing something and you're watching this screaming at your television or your computer screen or your phone, however you're ingesting this thing, why aren't you talking about fill in the blank? Then let us know. Yeah. And we'll start talking about fill in the blank. How can people get a hold of us?
There are several ways you can get in touch with us. You can join us on the Twitter conversation at A Glitch In. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, which I would love for you to do because we're going to build an audience here, and that's the best way for you to interact with us really is through the comment section. Please do subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook, A Glitch In, and we also have a website, aglitchin.com. So whichever tickles your fancy, I don't know why I did this at the same time, whatever tickles your fancy, join in on the conversation. We look forward to discussing with you.
We do a lot of fancy tickling around here. So come back. God, that's so Amber Alerty. That was really gross. But come back. Join us for episode 3 in A Glitch TV, and we will see you next week. Anyways, between episodes of things you catch on Crackle, PlayStation Network, Netflix, highly encourage people out there to pick up a copy of Witcher 3. It is an early front runner for Game of the Year, I think, at this point.
Very nice.
Very good. So, are you a Game of Thrones fan?
Oh my god.
All right, okay. So yes, like an enthusiastic 10 out of 10, yes. It's that of like RPGs. So like, I don't know, if you play BioWare's Dragon Age, it feels a little bit like baby's first RPG, right? It's a little bit like, I don't know, more like